Ahoy, shipmates! It's the Scarlet Lady. Virgin Voyages new cruise ship. Well, I say new, not actually that new. I haven't had the opportunity to take a flight around the Scarlet Lady, and this was going to be one of her last trips into, and the keener viewers may have noticed, not the port of Southampton, but the port of Portsmouth. Conditions are a little grey and cloudy this morning. That's not a bad photo. Very interesting design, the Scarlet Lady, I must say, compared to what we get in the ports of Southampton. Very distinctive design on many levels. For a start, even though it's a fairly dull grey morning, you may have noticed the hull of the vessel is actually grey as well. Now, this is unusual. I don't think we've had any grey cruise ships into the port of Southampton. Also, the bow, as you can see there, is very vertical. And there's lots of red detailing, the typical Virgin colour. And of course that's the Scarlet Lady on the front there. Launched in February 2019 and then sort of completed in February 2020 and then pretty much shut down for the pandemic, so all a bit confusing last year. 111,000 gross tonnes, 277 metres long, so not as big as some of the big cruise ships. 17 decks in total, 13 of which are passenger accessible. Now it's quite early here. Oh, that's much better shot, isn't it? Oh, very distinctive. Look at the stern as well. Very distinctive stern. That's almost a reverse angle on the stern. It is an unusual ship. I'm a little bit confused down here. I don't fly Portsmouth very often, so I'm trying to get my bearings. And also, disadvantage is there's no restriction on speed here, so she's whistling in at a fair old rate of knots. Pretty sure she's not performing her top speed of 22 knots, but nonetheless she's still moving along a fair old lick. A couple of distinctive features about the Scarlet Lady is one that she's an adult-only cruise ship. The tug is in attendance there. It's not quite a good view this way. I think the view going back was better. But you can see the stern, and particularly here on this side of you, really can see the stern is a sort of reverse angle. Very, very different design. Very, very. I was concerned it looked, had some resemblances to a battleship with the vertical bow and the grey colour, but in reality, quite an elegant looking vessel. Total passenger capacity on the Scarlet Lady is 2,770 passengers and 1,160 crew. Apparently also the ship produces her own energy through our 1 megawatt system that uses the waste heat from her diesel engines. That sounds very nifty. This is the first cruise ship of the Virgin Voyages line, and they have implemented a number of features on the interior which are different and a couple of different operating methodologies to the other traditional cruise ships. One of the differences the Scarlet Lady has compared to other cruise ships is the pricing is based on a per cabin basis rather than charging per passenger. It's a cabin price. All guests are included and all of the meal charges are included, thus making the prices compared to the competitors slightly higher. This is the narrow entrance to the historic port of Portsmouth. Great day out if you want to come down and experience some of the museums that are here. They've got some naval museums and Mary Rose and a few other bits and pieces. Ferry to France also goes from Portsmouth. And of course there is a ferry to the Isle of Wight. Where would we be without an Isle of Wight ferry? Also are a number of fortifications that are behind us at the moment. And of course, as you can see, some fortifications in front of us. Port of Southampton has a massive variety of traffic. Container ships, cruise ships, all sorts of things. Portsmouth has cross-channel ferries and military ships, and naval ships, those sorts of things. So it is slightly different in that respect. I'd probably say Portsmouth is not as busy as Southampton traffic-wise, but they're somewhat similar. And this is one of the White Link ferries that we can sometimes see on cruise cam. This travels from Portsmouth to Fishbourne. And this is in fact the hybrid energy ferry, just waiting for the Scarlet Lady to go further into the port of Portsmouth and dock. So she's been slightly inconvenienced. All those commuters will have an extra 5 or 10 minutes to eat their bacon butties. There is, however, one thing that Portsmouth does have, and the port of Southampton doesn't. That is the only passenger hovercraft service in the world. And it just so happens that I got my timings right, and we were able to see the departure of one of the hovercrafts. I think this one was the Solent Flyer. Comes right up onto the beach here in Southsea. If you happen to be in Port Southampton, so it was worth a pop down to Southsea. And you can watch the hovercrafts come and go. Or even better, take a trip on the hovercraft to ride on the Isle of Wight. Makes a fun day out for the children. And children of all sizes. And there she goes, gliding smoothly, transitioning from land to sea. Unlike some of the other ferry services across the Solent, the hovercraft can be unduly affected by weather conditions. High winds particularly are a problem. It stops the hovercraft from, basically going. And if there is a particularly high sea state as well, that can cause a problem. But generally, they operate most of the year, travelling to and from Ryde. There is 2 hovercrafts, and also we do actually see these hovercrafts in the Port of Southampton when they come up for maintenance and servicing work. And there's one of those forts I mentioned earlier. We'll get a little view of them from here. And there she goes off to Ryde. Now, interestingly, in the Port of Southampton, we have the Hythe to Southampton ferry that you can see on a port cam. And in Hythe, that is where the hovercraft was invented by Sir Christopher Cockerell. Now, our local boy turned good, invented the hovercraft. Slightly gone out of fashion these days, I think due to the high running costs. But nevertheless, a fun ferry. Got my timings all wrong this morning, although I can't really change the cruise ship movements. This was how the sky was about 10 minutes after I landed the drone. Probably not even that. So if the Scarlet Lady was just a little bit later, we would have had some absolutely stunning photographs. But unfortunately, the weather is one thing that's not in my control. Well, I hope you enjoyed a little trip down to Portsmouth. And until next time, shipmates.